So, welcome to this ARCHICAD tutorial. So, we are going to be designing six-bedroom duplex. Yeah, a six-bedroom duplex design here. So don't be, you know, we have already created the walls of the downstairs or the ground floor plan. So these are the walls. Let me go to the ground floor so that you can see. So this area is the sit out. Here is the visitor's toilet. Here is the waiting room. Here is the bedroom. Here is the sitting room, the dining, the kitchen, the veranda. You can see the circulation, the relationship, and orientation of each space. So this is the room, this is the toilet for the room, this is the toilet for the room. We are gonna be shorten this place small, but not now. So this is the basic thing. So we have not gone far, it's just the walls that we created. So I'm going to be showing you the settings we applied to this wall creation, the settings, the height, the whatsoever, the color, and the rest of them, and be introducing you to other forms of settings that might not be applied to this particular walls. Okay, so we go to this wall tool here, we double click on this wall too. First of all, let's go to geometry and position. So here is actually the height of the wall, which is 3,000. It's normally 3,000. Okay, so that's why we're not given opportunity to reduce or do anything to it. So we have here as our wall thickness, like you've seen there, we have wall thickness. So any wall thickness you want, 225, 150, 125, any wall thickness, or you can be able to fix it there. So here is the home story where you want your wall to start. Do you want it to be on the first floor or first story or ground floor or second story, on your depending on the design. Okay, so having said that, we have our floor and plan section. Okay, we're gonna be exploring this one later on. Let's leave it for now. We have our model, so you can actually log this from here, log this from here, log this. Okay, so we're going to be using this color, this you know this under paint. So here we have tiles, we have siding, we have plaster, we have synthetic, we have stone, we have landscape, we have metal and insulation, glass material, whatsoever kind of material you want to apply to a particular element, not only on walls, both on windows or any other components of the design or building. You can just go there. If you are trying to design a landscape, you'll be needing like green areas. So here in this landscape, you can find colors or textures that looks or resemble or that has the texture of a a plant or grass here, so that you can be able to use it and design something applicable to what you are trying to do. So we have here, so I just choose this color. We can use it to start as painting. So what you can actually change this thing. Maybe you want it to have one color, you can just change it here. It's called chaining, just change it. So this log details is where we are trying to include wall wall groove here. Wall groove, you can this actually call log walls. You can also call it log walls. So depending, you can activate them. When you activate them, you see all these things will be applicable depending on what you to design or what you have in mind to do. Okay, so we don't need this now, so we can actually cancel it to have the structural element to explore this one. I'm just trying to show you the basis of walls in ARCHICAD. Okay, so we have classification. So this is also the same thing with the settings and everything. So we'll explore it later because now we are talking about the basis for beginning in this scene. Okay, so actually we are done. So let's go back to the geometry and the rest. So we are done. See, this is how I set this thing and click OK. So you can now use it to structural wall. Okay, later I'll talk about this. Later I'll talk about this. It's just when you're trying to, when you're having cavity walls, you're having different kinds of walls, wall filled with concrete, the rest, the wall having brick surface, and inside having another texture. So, but now we're talking about the basis of this software. ARCHICAD. This was how I use this. So what do I mean? So when we are trying to create something like this, you have to regard a horizontal and vertical line. Okay. So here we have two shortcuts. We have drag shortcut, we have drag a copy shortcut. So the shortcut for drag is just simply Control D. Then you can drag that particular element. But when you want to drag a copy of that particular element, not exactly that particular one, but just a copy of it, you can press Control D, Control, then you can drag a copy of that. So let's practicalize what I'm talking about. So we have this here first. You highlight it by pressing Shift and clicking that wall or highlighting the wall. So after then you press your Control D. We are trying to drag this copy now, these elements. So drag left to rightwards. So let's say offset distance. This is the distance, like the distance to which you want that element to move further. Okay, so let's say 2000 millimeter. You can impute the measurements there. So have 2000 millimeter, you press enter. It has shifted from that point or that position to a new position to a new position. So to a new position, so you can escape. So that's that. So but when we want to drag a copy of these elements, you can highlight it by long pressing your shift key and clicking on the wall. Then you now press your Control D, Control. Under the dark arrow, you see a star or plus icon under the dark arrow. So it shows you that you are dragging a copy. But when you remove or press that control again, the arrow moves away. So it shows you that you are not dragging that particular element and not a copy of it. But now I've taught you guys that one. So we are going to be looking at dragging a copy now. So we have to include this control lastly to see that plus icon there. Okay, so click on the distance and impute the set distance. Let's say the same 2 meters. So have 2000 millimeters. We'll put enter. You can see that that element did not move, but rather will copied or will offset a copy of that element, is what we are seeing here. But initially, we copied the element, exactly the element. So it shifted from this position to here, but now it doesn't. Because why? We copied a copy of that um, element. So that's that. So these are the ways we used to create, this ground floor plan. So the next scene will be on putting the windows and the doors and other features of the design. Then after was we'll now create our first floor and slabs and everything. So we are done. This is just the an introductory aspects of the ARCHICAD for beginners and probably for people that might need it. So thank you and see you in the next video.